So we're waiting on Netflix here. April 15th, 2015. Netflix's stock has had a big run up ahead of this report. Results tend to come out immediately after the bell. So we'll see if we get some big time movement here. Netflix closed right around 475. So the official move that they're looking for is right about 46 bucks on the stock. And my question is are you going above 500 bucks? If you can get above 500, anything can happen to the upside. As for the downside, you need to break 450. Looks like we get some here. Initial reaction lower, printing 467s. No aggressive downticks though. Let the spread normalize. We got some downticks, 466s. Took them out. So trying to come below 470. Doesn't seem very aggressive lower. Probably need to break this 465-ish to get it going lower. And as for the upside, you need to get above 480, and that would set up a potential 500 test. But we are moving around here a little bit. So again, these asks not being very aggressive. Here she goes, 483s. $490s for a minute. Getting a bid here. She's moving up, going for that 500 test. 500 prints. Netflix is a $500 stock, ladies and gentlemen. Let's see what she does here. 500. That's a big level. $505. She's getting good extension. 510s. These bids are nice too. They came up towards 510. Getting stacking above it. She's really going here. Although just paused a little bit, came up towards 516, then got whacked out. But then the bids popped right back up. 515s. Got one market maker stuck at 475. Just ignore him. So stalling out a little bit between 415 and 418. That was two times we tried to come up there. Sorry, 515 and 518. See if you can push through it. 520s here. But just making a note that we saw some congestion between 15 and 18. Getting above it now. Nice bid action in the 20s. The main story here is Netflix at the moment has pulled off the priced in move. Remember, the market was looking for a 46-point move from 475, so the range was 429 to 521. So everybody that bought near the money, they got value for it apparently if this holds, unless you bought near the money puts, of course. Testing 525. Looks like she wants to keep going. $530s here. It's just all-out momentum going on right now. Do I have 535? 535 going once, going twice, going 3 times. No 535, just once. Little stall out at 530. But the bids keep holding. 531 bids. She is strong like a mofo. I don't know what the numbers were, but the market likes them. I wonder too, you know, there was rumors of this split. Keep an eye out for that. Netflix, maybe they confirm that. That could be helping this. $540s here. Just a monster move. I mean, this is Netflix, I guess. So came up to 540, and again another little stall out. It's done this a couple times. We saw it at 518, and it ended up pushing through that. But that was at 518. This is 20 points higher. But again, just make a note of these little stall out areas, kind of 540-ish. Just to use these as kind of reference points for tomorrow, because we're going to be in uncharted territory, presumably, unless something dramatic happens and pushes this thing back down. But I'm going to assume that stock is going to be pretty solid for sure, above 500 bucks, maybe even significantly higher. You know, you might see this thing print some 550s here soon at the rate it's going. But make a note of a level like 540-ish and 518, because maybe we open lower and hold that 518, 520 area for support. Maybe we open right at 540, sell off. A lot of times you see these after hours levels then be significant areas for the stock the next day. Doing a good job staying up here. Alright, so you did back away from 540 a little bit. Coming down, testing 530. So I'm going to go ahead and put a little range between 510 to 540, just preliminarily, with 500 of course being a key psychological level, and 550 of course being a key psychological level. You know, 10 points above or below that 510 to 540 range. But this kind of looks like the tradable range. There's still a lot of time here. You know, conference call will start in 50 minutes, and I'm sure you'll get some reactions to that. No doubt this is bullish. I mean, nothing, no bone to pick with Netflix here. I mean, she did it. Give her a couple claps, and we'll see here come tomorrow morning where we end up being. I'll monitor this throughout the rest of the evening and see just what it's doing. See if it can get above that 540. If so, you could go for 550s and, you know, keep doing what it's been doing. But if you respect 540, then, you know, again, kind of from here on down towards 510 is going to be the range that I think is in play on Netflix for trading opportunities. At the moment, looks like it's going to give another run at 540 here. Let's see. Another level to watch will just be 525. That's just a round level. That's your midway point as you come up on 540 here again. So 525 could end up being the over-under, but again, you know, all we know about tomorrow is the stock's going to be way higher than it closed here today. Is it going to be above 550, 560? Is it going to be near 515, 520? I don't know. But what I know is we're looking at a big-time move up. It's going to be a big-time gap. You're going to have some whippy action because that's just the way it goes anytime you get a gap of this nature. But if the stock is as strong tomorrow as it has been so far here after hours, we are looking at upside action for Netflix. So that's the main takeaway. How much of the gap will it fill? Again, those types of questions you just don't really know until you see how it's trading in the morning. I'm not going to come out here and now say, oh yeah, we're going to gap up and keep going, or yeah, we're going to gap and just sell off. If you think back to Netflix's last report, if we show this daily chart, switch to my other screen here for a moment. Remember, Netflix had a similarly incredible gap last report, going from 350 up to 400. But if you look on that day, you had a pretty tight trading range for a good chunk of the day. You opened at 414 and you closed at 409. Your low was 401, or 402. Your high was 414. So you traded in a 12-point range, which is wide. But as far as where you opened and where you closed, you only traded in a 5-point range, which I consider to be pretty tight for an earnings reaction off of a 50-point gap. And we're looking at possibly a similar scenario tomorrow where you're going to get a significant gap. We're up 55 points right now. A little bit more than that, actually, I think. So just be on the lookout. Be open-minded to, hey, maybe she doesn't have to do anything. Maybe she kind of stays sideways. But bottom line, be open-minded. Don't come into tomorrow with a sense that you know what's going to happen with Netflix. Stock's going to do what it wants to do off the open. And have your levels. Again, I noted some congestion points between 515 and 518, and then a congestion point up here between 535 and 540. If we get above that, 550 becomes the next obvious level to watch. And if we're below it, then 525 becomes the next level to watch, as that's just your 5% extension above 500. Alright guys, so it looks like we're in for some action tomorrow, to say the least. And we'll go from there.